he had an opportunity, and you guys know how that played out, and he's gonna have to work his way back. I don't give a what the number says. He's going to have to work his way back.
Dana White shuts the door on Arman Tsarukyan, saying he's not worthy of a title shot yet. Meanwhile, Chael Sonnen explains that Arman Tsarukyan earned his spot the hard way. While Ilia Topuria chose to wait, Arman stayed active, stepping up against Dan Hooker when the division stalled. That willingness to fight, not sit, is what Chael says convinced Dana White to name him the No. 1 contender. In his words, Arman didn't talk his way into the title picture, he fought his way there.
Arman went out and did some extremely heavy lifting in fighting Dan Hooker. You guys, I fear, forgot how that fight got made. But that fight got made and a lot of people were going, hey, wait a minute. I thought Tsarukyan was going to fight Ilia. Well, a lot of people thought that he was, but time started going by. Ilia said, I got whatever going on. I'm waiting until 2026. Tsarukyan said, I'm not. Tsarukyan went and did a grappling match and signed up for an MMA fight, which turned out to be against Hooker. And Dana White just goes, look, enough. I respect it. Whoever comes out of it is our number 1 contender.
Chael wrapped it up by saying the UFC rewards fighters who take risks, not those who wait on the sidelines. Tsarukyan stepped up, beat a dangerous opponent, and proved he deserves the shot. In his words, Arman didn't just talk his way into contention, he earned it through action.
History says backup fighter goes next. So instead of applying history and having your backup fighter in Tsarukyan go into another fight, who in this case turned out to be against a stone cold stud named Dan Hooker, you see where the promise of a number 1 contendership is a promise we'd like to keep. It was well deserved, it was well earned, and now it's even been established.
Furthermore, Sonnen added that Arman isn't being pushed aside, he's stuck waiting without answers. He earned his spot, he took the risks, and now he's paying the price for circumstances outside his control. In Chael's eyes, the UFC needs to follow through and get Tsarukyan back on track toward the title, sooner rather than later.
So now Tsarukyan isn't getting slighted, he's getting accidentally sidelined. That's worse. You'd rather be slighted. You'd rather, hey, that deal we made, it's not good. I got this opponent for you. Great. I'm a fighter. That's what I do. I get my heart broken on a regular basis. I then go into training camp. I then get on airplanes, get licensed, make weight, and I fight a man. Fly home, start that whole thing over again after the next phone call.
He summed it up, saying that Arman didn't get screwed, just unlucky. The timing fell apart, the division shifted, and he was left waiting. But because he fought, won, and proved himself, Chael believes he's still next in line once everything settles. He added that it's just a matter of patience and staying ready, as Arman's opportunity will come when the stars align.
Tsarukyan's in a very good spot. And did he get screwed here? Well, let me tell you this. To screw a guy, you gotta have an intent to screw him. Sometimes things just happen. In this case, things happen, but nonetheless.
On the other hand, Paddy Pimblett also talked about Tsarukyan, saying that Arman's path has been rocky, with wins over aging or declining opponents and a disputed loss to Charles Oliveira. Combined with setbacks like punching a fan and dealing with a bad back, Pimblett suggests these factors complicated Arman's journey to a title shot.
Not even just that though, is it? You know what I mean? Like, people talk about my last 3 wins. Yeah, it's Tony Ferguson, who was on his way out. But like, Dariush looks about 65. You know what I mean? He's got a full head of grey hair. He beat Dariush. He didn't beat Charles Oliveira. A lot of people didn't think he won that fight. On his way out to the cage, he punched a fan. Got banned. UFC probably had to pay a big fucking fee for the fella not to sue him. He then got his title shot and, oh, I've got a bad back.
Paddy adds that Arman's inconsistency has hurt his career trajectory, missing weight, sitting out for 11 months, turning down fights, and nearly derailing a main event against Dan Hooker all show a lack of reliability. These repeated issues, according to Paddy, explain why Arman isn't in a top contender position right now despite his talent and past achievements.
When really he probably just couldn't even make weight. It's out for fucking, 11 months. Gets offered the fight in the meantime against Gamrot, says no. When if I ever got offered the fight against someone who'd beat me, I'd be taking that fight immediately. Then fights Dan Hooker, headbutts him at the weigh-in. no, so like nearly ruined another main event. Like, you can understand why he's not in that position.
Paddy summed it up, saying that with Arman potentially out or vacating, the division is wide open. If that happens, Paddy could be promoted to undisputed champ and might end up facing the next top contender, depending on how the matchups play out.
You never know, he might end up having to vacate and I'm going to get promoted to undisputed champ when I have the belt, you know what I mean? Because I'm going to win this interim belt, so that could end up happening. And I could defend it against little posh ass if he's fucking got another win by then. Because I reckon Charles is going to fight Max Holloway. So if that happens, I could end up fighting the winner of that. So we're just going to have to see how the division plays out.
So we could have like a combined like UFC lightweight BMF champion.
Yeah, that'd be sick. That would be sick.
Did you ever think about that?
Nah, I didn't even think about that.
Moving on, Arman tweeted as a response to Paddy. In that tweet, he fired back at Paddy Pimblett by pointing out what he views as Pimblett's easy path to titles, fighting mostly senior citizens and being handed what he calls a paper belt. He challenged Pimblett directly, saying that if Pimblett ever had the guts to fight him in the octagon, there's only one possible result, the one Pimblett fears most: being exposed as a fraud. Arman Tsarukyan tweeted, "I could talk about how you only fight senior citizens once a year, or how the UFC keeps giving you the easy road to that paper belt, but I'll say just one thing. If you ever find the courage to step into the octagon with me, there's only one outcome." In this tweet, Arman Tsarukyan continues his direct challenge to Paddy Pimblett, emphasizing that all the trash talk doesn't matter once they step into the octagon. He warns Pimblett to stay confident publicly, but predicts that when the fight happens, he'll be the one victorious with his hand raised, while Pimblett will be the one being helped out of the cage, implying a decisive and dominant win. Arman tweeted, "You can keep running your mouth, just make sure you're not the one pants in January. Like I said, the only thing that matters is when the octagon door closes. I'll be the one walking out with my hand raised, and you'll be the one getting helped out of the cage." However, moving on, Dana White says that while Tsarukyan isn't exactly the odd man out, he missed a significant opportunity and will now have to earn his way back. White emphasizes that Tsarukyan can't expect another title shot immediately and will need to get back in the win column to be reconsidered for a championship fight.
I wouldn't say that he's the odd man out, you know. He had an opportunity, and you guys know how that played out, and he's gonna have to work his way back.
Dana adds that there's a lot at stake in these opportunities, and things can't just unravel once a fighter gets their shot. He reflects on the countless unpredictable events in the past 2 decades of the sport, emphasizing that fighters must seize their chances. Missing or mishandling a title opportunity isn't taken lightly, so Tsarukyan will need to prove himself again and work his way back to contention.
There's just too much goes into this for those type of things to happen. You know, we had a little. We were talking back in my room tonight, and we were talking about you know, all the crazy that's happened over the last 20-something years. But you can't do that. You can't get the opportunity, and then it can't end that way. So he's got to work his way back.
Similarly, Dana notes that Tsarukyan is fully aware of the situation and isn't swayed by outside opinions. He understands the stakes and what's required to regain his position. So now it's all about putting in the work and earning his way back to a title shot.
No, I mean, you know, he obviously he knows what's going on. I don't care what everybody else says. You know, he knows what's going on, and he's got to work his way back to that title shot.
Justin Gaethje also expressed that he has stayed the course, trained hard, and focused on taking the right matchups. He emphasized that he's ready to fight anyone, Arman, Paddy, or Illy, as long as it's for the belt, showing excitement for the challenges ahead. He concluded by saying that he's fully prepared and confident, looking forward to proving himself when the opportunity arises.
But yeah, I just stayed the course, you know, and I've been really working hard and training and really sticking to my guns when it's come to taking the right matchups. You know, I would have fought anybody. I would have fought Arman, I would have fought Paddy, I would have fought Ilya, as long as it was, you know, for a belt, and that's where we're at.
Justin added that while it's unfortunate for Arman at the moment, there's no denying his skill, talent, and potential. Gaethje emphasized that MMA is unpredictable, and even top fighters can face unexpected delays. Despite this, he's confident Arman will eventually get the title opportunity he deserves. When that moment arrives, it will be fascinating to see how he performs on the big stage. Arman's eventual shot adds another layer of excitement and intrigue to the division.
I mean, be him, honestly.
Leave it at that.
It is what it is. I mean, No, the kid is a problem. There's no doubt about it. This is a crazy game, and he's going to get his chance. So.
On the contrary, MMA Guru points out that while Arman clearly deserves a title shot, the situation is part of the sport's unpredictable nature. He emphasizes that setbacks happen even to the most deserving fighters, and that the focus should remain on the excitement of the upcoming fights, like the January card, rather than dwelling on who's been delayed or overlooked.
Arman should fight for a title. You're alright, man. You're going to be okay. Thank you for the 10. I agree. We all agree Arman should be in the mix. But this is still really fun. And I'm really looking forward to the January card. And I'm not going to be all hard crying about it while it happens.
In the end, Gaethje says that while MMA is often seen as merit-based, the UFC prioritizes marketability over skill. Fighters who draw attention get fast-tracked, while Arman continues to be delayed, sidelined under the guise of punishment for past decisions, despite having earned his shot.
Despite the fact that MMA is a merit-based sport, the UFC is all about marketability politics. If they feel like you have the potential to make money, they will do everything in their power to get you to a title shot, regardless of your actual fighting ability. And if you're not that guy, they'll use every loophole they can to keep you away from it, which is exactly what's happening with Arman. Because with him already being skipped over for a title shot once, taking a fight against Dan Hooker, and Ilya pulling out due to personal issues, there's really no reason for him not to be next in line for the title outside of, no, he needs to be punished still for this thing that he supposedly did.
Drop your thoughts in the comments. Are you outraged that Dana White has removed Arman Tsarukyan from the title picture, or do you think he hasn't earned the shot? Fans are divided, with some calling it a total snub to one of the division's top contenders, while others see it as fair business. Is this politics at play in the UFC, or just the consequences of timing and opportunity? Let us know your take, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you never miss our latest MMA updates and breakdowns.